Now they know you were never the enemy. Separating from you didn't go as planned. Some of you have been treated like you were the problem, when really your presence was the protection. They thought walking away from you would bring them peace, more freedom, more opportunities. But now everything is falling apart. You weren't the enemy, you were the covering. You were the reason things still made sense. And just like Lot and Abram, they thought separation would save them. But they didn't know that once they walked away, God's next move would begin in your life, because sometimes God has to remove certain people from your space before he can reveal your inheritance. Hallelujah. 1. You were the covering they didn't recognize. When you read in the book of Genesis, chapter 13, verse 5, it says, Lot also, who went with Abram, had flocks and herds and tents, but the land could not support them while they stayed together. So Lot prospered because he was with Abram. The blessing on Abram's life overflowed onto Lot, but he thought his increase came from his own strength. That's why God sometimes allows separation, because not everyone walking with you understands that your grace was their covering. They don't see that your prayers were the umbrella over their chaos. Now that you are gone, the rain is falling, and they are realizing the blessing wasn't in the land, it was in the link. Hallelujah. 2. They chose what looked good. You chose what was right. So Genesis chapter 13 verse 10 says, Lot looked around and saw that the whole plain of the Jordan was well watered. So Lot chose for himself the whole plain of the Jordan. So Lot made his choice based on sight. Abraham made his choice based on faith. So that's what happens in many separations. One person looks at what seems more successful, easier, prettier, richer. They move towards what glitters, but not what is grounded. So you stayed in obedience. You stayed where it didn't look as promising, but it was prophetic. And now God is about to show you why obedience always outlasts appearance. Hallelujah. 3. When they left, God finally spoke. So Genesis chapter 13 verse 14 says, Then the Lord said to Abram, after Lot had parted from him, Lift up your eyes from where you are. All the land you see, I will give to you. So God didn't reveal Abram's inheritance until Lot was gone. Some people's presence delays revelation. Their noise makes it hard to hear God clearly. That's why when certain friendships, partnerships, and relationships ended, it felt painful, but your peace returned. You started hearing God again. You started dreaming again. You started creating again. Because God said, now that Lot is gone, I can finally show you what's next. Hallelujah. 4. Separation does not mean hatred, it means maturity. So Genesis chapter 14 verse 14, it says, When Abram heard that Lot had been captured, he mobilized his men and went to rescue him. So even after separation, Abram still had compassion. He didn't gossip. He didn't say he deserves it. He interceded. So that's your posture too. God is teaching you to let go without hating, to move on without bitterness, to bless even when they misjudged you. Because your peace is not revenge. Your peace is release. Hallelujah. And guess what? God used the same act of love to confirm Abraham's heart. To confirm Abraham's heart was pure. That's why the covenant continued through him. 5. Now they say it. Separation didn't go as planned. Genesis chapter 19 verse 29. God remembered Abraham and brought Lot out of the catastrophe that destroyed the cities. So Lot's story looked bright at first, but it ended in chaos. He lost everything he thought he gained. But Abraham, the one who stayed faithful, kept rising, expanding, and walking in covenant. That's what God is saying about you. They thought leaving you would make them happy, successful, freer, but instead they lost direction. And now they can see it. You were never the enemy. You were the evidence of favor. So yes, some separations were not punishment, they were positioning. Some betrayals were not rejection, they were redirection. God says, now that the wrong ones have left, I can release what I've been holding back. Your peace is coming. Your promise is being released. Your next level is unfolding. Hallelujah.